I've been doing this thing with my YouTube journey that I want to come out here and share with you because whether you're a YouTuber or not, or you're kind of venturing out on a new goal, or you're in this world, you're receiving advice from people, from family or friends or coworkers about whatever it is that you're doing in your life and that you're sharing with them. Whether you're a new parent or you're taking a class in college or you're trying a new exercise routine, everybody has their own opinion on something. And I think that it's people's general human nature that they want to go out there and they want to help us succeed at what we're doing. They want to share what they've done as advice to help us. So I was doing this thing as a YouTuber and I was feeling new, like I didn't really know what I was doing. I needed some help. So what did I do? I went on YouTube and I was watching other YouTube videos of YouTubers giving advice to small channels about how we can make better thumbnails and descriptions and better videos and have this lighting and say all these things in this order. It was completely stressing me out. I thought that if I didn't do all these things, my channel would fail, nobody would watch me. And yes, I've applied a lot of their advice because a lot of the background and uploading, I wasn't quite sure what I was doing. And I'm so grateful for those channels out there. I'm still gonna watch them, but I've kind of taken a step back and applied a little bit of my own logic to it. And that's what this video is about. I'm going to talk about some advice on taking other people's advice. Number one is take it or leave it. You don't have to take this advice. You don't have to take my advice right now. But one of the things I realized was I don't have to do those 18 things when I upload. I can do 5 of them. And the things that actually don't take much time are easy to do and that kind of apply to my channel. And yes, I'm applying these tips to my YouTube journey right now, but you can apply it anywhere else that you're receiving advice from people. Another way that I have applied this in my life was when my kids were babies. They did not sleep. They're 3 years apart, so I didn't sleep for such long years on end. And I loved that time, don't get me wrong, but it came to nighttime and they wanted to be with me. So I would go to work the next day. I'd be so tired and I'd say, oh my gosh, my daughter didn't sleep last night. And let me tell you, as a parent, other parents come and gather and tell you all their sleeping stories, which was great until I kept hearing the same advice over and over again. And I did not like it. I didn't want to take this advice. And it was just let her cry it out. Shut the door, let her cry herself to sleep. She'll get tired enough and she'll teach herself how to do it. And while that might have worked for them, I did not want to apply that advice. I left it. That was one of the things that finally, after hearing that so many times, I was like, I'm just not going to do that. The second tip is take it with a grain of salt. Everybody is coming at this from their own perspective, their own opinions, and that's where the advice comes from. I was watching a video and she said, put a clip in there within 30 seconds. It'll grab people's attention. They'll watch the video longer. And then literally the next day, one of the other channels I was watching said, don't put any clips in. They just want to see you sitting and talking. Number 3 is to consider the personality of where the advice is coming from. There's this one YouTuber, and I still watch the channel, but he kind of makes it sound like the world is going to end if you don't do these things with your channel. And that kind of abrupt advice doesn't usually work for me. That works for some people, but for me, like the whole personality isn't really jibing with mine. So I just kind of leave a lot of that like franticness aside and actually just listen to the words that he's saying in order to get the tips that he's trying to get across. The fourth thing with taking advice from others is you might take the advice and then run it through your whole trial and error system. You can try that way of writing if you're writing a book and see if it works for you. If it doesn't and it's kind of an error, just go on to the next thing. And I've been doing that with my YouTube channel. I've been trying it in this setting. I've been trying to upload it without doing any edits. And let me tell you, I'm not doing that. This is the 4th time that I have filmed this video because I'm like, oh my gosh, put some pep into that video. So basically just kind of take that scientific approach. If you are using this for your YouTube channel and you're uploading like 4 or 5 times a week, you can do this trial and error thing pretty quickly and see what works best for you. Because if it didn't work with one video, try something different with the next video. Number 5 is probably the most important one, and that is to follow your intuition. I say this with so much that I'm talking about on this channel, but really just hone into what settles right with you, what you think is going to work in your videos. If somebody's out here saying you need to post every day and you're like, I can't post that much because maybe I have 2 little kids and I work 10 hours a day and that day doesn't work for me to post, that's fine. Just follow your intuition. Everybody is coming at this, like I said, from their own personality, their own perspective, and what they themselves have time for, what works in their life. That is not going to necessarily line up with your goals, your time, your desires for your channel or your project or your thing that you're working on. I don't think that all these advice channels and all these tips and everything, I don't think it's coming from a place of harm at all. But you also need to realize that if you're seeking advice because you don't feel like you know enough about a topic, right? Just because this person is seemingly knows more about it than you do doesn't mean that they're better than you or that they're going to do a better job than you, because you can take it like you want and you can spin it for what works for you. And ultimately, if you're doing a YouTube channel, that's what your subscribers are going to like. If you're writing a book, that's what your readers are going to like. Or if you just have a personal goal, you can make it your own and make it work for you. I kept watching these videos thinking, I've got to do better thumbnails. I've got to change all my thumbnails and change all my videos now. I'm doing a terrible job. And that just wasn't the case. Like, I was learning, I'm still learning, and everything is always changing here on YouTube. So even if I were to change my thumbnails, the next day, the next week, there might be a new trend of thumbnails out there. What I'm saying is I wasn't really doing anything wrong. It's not like I was breaking anything. I wasn't doing any harm to anybody. So just take the advice with that knowing that you're going to do it the way that you want to, and that is totally fine. Let me know below if you've kind of fallen into this trap before of feeling like you have to do everything that everybody says and what you've done to kind of get out of that. I'll see you next time. Bye.